encourage discernment in my young reader. Especially in the youngest grades, the books your student reads should not only be literary excellent, but also morally excellent. And you can find many articles on how to choose good books for children, and often those lists will include literary excellence. But very few of the articles help you learn to choose books that are morally sound. Moral excellence begins with the theme of a book or story reflecting a biblical perspective. So what makes a good book good? Let's start by looking for moral excellence. As Christian parents, we want our children to grow up in the faith, engaging the culture by praising the good and challenging the bad. And literature and entertainment give us many opportunities to talk about objectionable elements that they will encounter in this fallen world. So how do we handle and teach our children to handle objectionable material that they're going to come across while reading? First, let's identify the objectionable elements. Should we as Christians simply ban any material that includes obvious, censorable material such as profanity or occultism or graphic violence? Well, we should look to Scripture for guiding principles. The Bible teaches by principle and includes both positive and negative examples, but evil is never glorified, and evil always has negative results. Sometimes evil is allowed to appear in a controlled way in order to develop in the reader a resistance against it. The rule of thumb is that if a book treats evil the same way the Bible treats evil, it is acceptable to be used for instructional purposes when age appropriate. Sometimes a book will have objectionable material that is more subtle. These can be attitudes or philosophies introduced or even pushed in the book. And the following questions provide 3 tests for determining moral excellence. First is moral tone. Does the story make the objectionable element seem appealing? Doesn't that little devil seem cute? Then there's gratuitous, or that means for no reason. Is the objectionable element or material there for a good purpose, or just to draw attention to itself? And then there is explicitness. Is this objectionable element discussed too often or in too much detail? All 3 tests must be considered together for a literary work to be considered morally sound. Now, as a parent, you must help your student understand how to filter what he reads or watches, and it takes many discussions on a variety of topics to prepare your student to know when to put a book down. So communicate constructively. When a book has an objectionable element, whether obvious or subtle, don't just take the book away from your student. Instead, take time to calmly teach him the biblical view and consequence of that sin or attitude. Discernment is needed here, and often it's the more subtle philosophies that may undermine the Christian values you've taught him. The following questions may help you talk with your student about these objectionable elements. What makes a character good or bad? Are the characters that you care about truly noble or honorable? Do the conflict and plot encourage you to accept good and reject evil? Is evil punished? Does the theme support biblical truth? Does the attitude about God reflect our beliefs? Did anything make you feel uncomfortable? Now, as a parent, you must not only judge what is appropriate for your student, but also teach him how to discern for himself. You won't always be there. So while you can, talk about the hard stuff. Enjoy reading and being discerning. And a good goal for your student is that he will become a skilled, discerning reader who loves to read, chooses to read, and chooses well.